He tried guilt-tripping me into having sex by sending me photos of him fake crying and implying that I owe him sex for all that he does for me.
Guilt-tripping for sex is like a really threatening thing, you know, it's your body, it's your choice.
My name's Jennifer. I'm a mother, I'm a pastor, and I'm an author.
My name is Danya, and I'm a Muslim Syrian American spoken word artist.
My name is Inderpreet Kaur. I'm a Punjabi Sikh woman. I'm an activist, a writer, and a sister.
My girlfriend's need for me to catalog her life for Instagram constantly is slowly draining my soul. I feel you.
Instagram boyfriend.
I enjoy taking pictures just as much as anyone else, but when I have to take 400 plus photos, yes, you read that number right, it becomes difficult. To help cope, I've thought of taking caffeine, Adderall, weed, or just running into oncoming traffic.
Oh my God.
Anyone have any healthier alternatives? As someone who's got this love-hate relationship with social media, I feel you, because it becomes such a suffocating experience. There's always that question of like, why am I taking this photo or video?
Exactly.
Maybe this is totally a wrong assessment, but a feeling of like, I want it to be perfect, I want it to look perfect, I want it to, you know,
Right.
And there's probably some deeper stuff in there that needs to be healed and dealt with. And my advice would be put healthy boundaries and just say, here's the deal, okay, we're gonna spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, set your boundary of like getting you your picture that you want. But after that, we're gonna actually put our phones away and just engage and enjoy each other. This is what I need.
Right.
So you get what you need, but I need to get what I need.
Maybe like he could be the one to kind of address like what is the cause behind this need for the increased photos.
My boyfriend and I are both virgins. He recently started begging for sex, and when I wouldn't give in, he tried guilt-tripping me into having sex by sending me photos of him fake crying and implying that I owe him sex for all that he does for me. He later apologized for acting that way. How do I proceed?
For me, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, okay, I really need you to honor this boundary, right? Honor this thing, and if you can't, like, I'm gonna have to put a little bit of distance, because that would make me a little bit concerned of if he's not willing to honor this area that's important to me, it's gonna be hard to trust in other areas.
As a survivor of domestic violence, I can relate to a certain extent because emotional manipulation is a big part that often goes unseen. And so she mentions guilt tripping. That is an emotional abuse. Even though he apologized, I would suggest kind of maybe checking patterns. Has this happened before and in other areas? Like you said, it breaks trust. And if that continues, it just escalates into something worse.
Right.
And guilt tripping for sex is like a really threatening thing. You know, it's your body, it's your choice.
When should you have sex for the first time?
I've realized that you need to be absolutely comfortable with the person. You need to make sure that they will respect you. You need to make sure that they know who you are, what your boundaries are.
Absolutely. I think sometimes one side often over romanticizes how committed they are to that relationship, and you think you're ready, but you have to dig deep into know what you're feeling and just kind of understanding that you're on the same page.
What my husband and I chose to do was to not fully give ourselves until we were fully committed to each other and got married. I'm grateful that we chose that path, because then there's safety in that, knowing that you're giving yourself to somebody who's gonna like forever be with you and be by your side.
My fiance is leaving me for another woman whom he has had an emotional affair with for a month. I don't know how I can ever trust a man again or even find someone with the same priorities as me. I am so devastated and don't know what to do with myself.
That's really hard.
That's heavy.
You need to like process that.
When we're in pain and grief, we don't always think clearly or make good decisions, you know? So being mindful of that, don't make any rash decisions in that time, in that place. There are good people out there.
I was in my early 20s when this actually happened, and you know, like all breakups, this one was very, very painful. And my personality very much is, you know, if something huge happens to me, something devastating happens, I will collapse. And so don't put yourself through that. Talk about it, write about it if that's what helps you. Just let it out of your system.
Like my friends have said, I know it's hard, I've been through it as well. I've been through a divorce, and there are days where I'm like, I don't know if I want to trust, but then I'll meet people and I'm like, no, I can trust, and I build it gradually.
Yeah.
Time gives you experiences that rebuilds you to where you need to be later on, and that's how it heals you. So.
Totally.
Yeah.
So true.
My body has changed for the worse after a major accident, and I can't bring myself to be intimate with my boyfriend because I'm scared he'll be repulsed by how I look. Is it better to break off the relationship since I can't give him what he wants?
I do want to say you're a rock star for surviving this, you know?
Right.
I can't even imagine what you've been through, but just remember that, you know, you have not changed. I'm sure your partner still thinks that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And probably all of us have had, at some point in our life, like really painful things that have happened that have made us who we are today.
Exactly.
Right? Even though it's been a point of great pain in her life,
Right.
learning to see it as it's making me who I am today. It's made me stronger. It's made me better.
Right.
I think it's, for a lot of women, it's like a lifetime journey that we experience. It's roller coasters. When I was 11, I was diagnosed with OCD and something called trichotillomania, which is like a compulsive behavior of hair plucking. And so ever since I was 10, 11, I had to wear eyeliner and eyebrow pencil. And I've literally never said this to anyone. So you're like so ever since I was a kid, I just like registered that like I'm ugly. See, I'm gonna cry right now.
It's okay.
So I've had to wear makeup my whole life, and I've always felt like I can't make eye contact with anyone. I can't be seen, and I went through a lot, and I like managed to control it. It still happens every once in a while, but I always thought that if I ever enter a relationship, he would find that really ugly and leave. And then on top of that, being a Muslim woman that wears the head cover, I'm facing a lot of, ironically, it's not discrimination from the outside world, but it's like my own Muslim community is like, you know, a lot of men don't want a woman that wears the head cover. And so I've had opportunities where I've been rejected for choosing to practice my faith by my own people. And so I can totally relate to that, because it's really unfair, the pressures that they put on a woman's expectations. It's like, you're not even seeing who I am. It's just been this like ongoing journey of, no, I love who I am as a person, but I don't know if I love what I look like.
This is such a good example of even our own perceptions, right? Because all I've been doing is staring at how gorgeous you are, right? So from my perspective, I'm sitting here and I just think, you're so beautiful. And yet you struggle with that. And all of us can relate to that.
Right.
And so thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So good.
My advice would be honest. If this is your intimate partner who's chosen you for you, they should have absolutely no problem being there and supporting you and loving you regardless of any physical or even emotional changes that happen. That's a relationship.
Right. You know, sometimes we do forget that it's important to uplift one another. And we forget that, you know, other folks have troubles too, and it's important to help them and advise them.
We have way more in common than we have in differences, and these are amazing women to sit with today and just talk through real life stuff that so many of us women face.
I ended up revealing a lot about myself that I'm not usually comfortable sharing, but it felt like a safe space. And it just reminds me that we're all human, so we end up experiencing the same things at the end of the day, and so it's just a unifying experience.
What's up, guys? This is Ian.
And this is John.
We work at Jubilee, and we're always making things to empower people to live to their fullest potential, trying to make some meaningful things in the internet world where there's a lot of noise. Check out some of our other videos right here.
And let us know what you think in the comments below about this video, and also be sure to click subscribe over here.
Yeah. Let's live greater together and onward and upward all the time, and we'll see you guys around.